think it makes sense. Hey guys, hey Peter. Fridge, g'day. Bill, hello. Paul, g'day. Mark Oswald, g'day. Magic Mushroom Monday is actually Wednesday and probably Tuesday, yeah. Metho Monday, yeah. Hey Stuart. Yeah, Metho and Fando don't taste good. David, g'day. What's happening? We had a massive week. It's all happened. Firstly, this was all pulled apart for the termite man to come and inspect, and everything's just gone back to work, back together like yesterday, because I was away all weekend, but with some improvements. Hey Tim, dry July, hey? Some improvements. We've got sticker board back up. Look at this. How cool is that? I got a cabinet up here with spark plug display and some engines on top. Pretty happy with that. So that's given us with a bit more cleanup. Like, there's still stuff to put away, of course, but it's given us quite a lot more space here. Look at this. So that's excellent. Anyway, the weekend was a bit of stuff around because no one can get their act together, and not mentioning any names. No, the weekend was awesome. Raymond, g'day. Remind me, I have something here on the bench that might be, to your advantage when I see you. So Friday I got out of bed real early. And was going to be down at Pimpamar, down on the Gold Coast at 8 o'clock to meet the truck and load on the new engine that's gone to Dan's shed. It's probably going to be a video about, but I haven't seen it yet. And I didn't make a video of it. No, I did intend to make a video of it, but things got out of my control, so we'll talk about that in a minute too. Didn't find my tablet. Sorry, no idea where that is while we were cleaning up. It must be here somewhere, but I haven't seen it. It's got to be here. It's tucked into a shelf somewhere, and I don't know where. I've been sort of slowly cleaning up, trying to find it. So, went to load this engine on the truck and a heap of other stuff and some railway line and a couple of wheel sets for a 2-foot gauge railway and a bit of stuff like that. It's sort of everyone needs and nobody, well, everyone wants and nobody needs, or however it works. So got there at 8 o'clock and truck didn't turn up till 12 or 12:30 or something. So we sat around, did nothing. And loaded everything on, and then there was a stack of roofing iron too to pick up from a little place on the way, which I thought was going to be a heap of offcuts and shorts just to clean the place up, but the guy had it all racked up nice and there was 8 or 10 sheets of decent roofing iron to go with what we already got. So that's going towards a shed at some point. So Dan's organised that and I picked that up. I'm choosing to ignore the comment about the tablets. Did that and I ended up at Shannondale at Fridges by about a bit after dark anyway, so it didn't get anything done Friday much. And Saturday morning we got up reasonably early. What did we do Saturday? Oh, Saturday the engine turned up on the back of the truck, so we unloaded that. And of course the rest of the day was, I put the drain cocks on. The drain cocks look really good and were all right. Put them on anyway. Didn't fire the engine till Sunday. Did we get drunk? I don't think we did get drunk. It's the first weekend in living memory that no one got drunk. It wasn't a bad effort. Early was like 7:30 or something. It wasn't as early as Sunday morning. So we unloaded the engine and put the crankshaft in it and bolted it all up and cut a hole in the roof and put the chimney on and cut another hole in the roof for the exhaust pipe and made it all fit to the foundations and set it all in place and got everything going and lit a fire in it and filled it up with water. And by about 3 o'clock we had steam up and the engine was ticking over. So not a bad effort. That's what we did Saturday. Anyway, little engine's pretty sweet and ticks over nice. You probably saw it on one of the social media platforms, probably a video on Discord and a video on Instagram and there's a video on Facebook. Nothing on YouTube, and I'm sorry about that, but we'll get to that in a minute too. Then Sunday we got up early and pulled the injector pipe off the roller because that was a bit of an issue. We got the winch rope hook caught on it and pulled it, broke it last time we had the roller out. So we pulled that off and with quite a lot of difficulty managed to fix that. That was a sterling effort too. And, it's got a little pinhole in one of the welds, but it seems to be taken up. So pretty happy with that. That's a pretty good effort too. Got all that back together and got the thing fired up by about 10:30. And we had steam up by about, well, we had 150 psi by about 1:15, I think, from the logbook entry, I remember. And we tested the drain cocks, which dribbled pretty seriously until we tightened everything up. And they actually don't leak, so I'm pretty happy with that. Hey, Kevin. Yeah, it was a bit of a cow of a job, actually. Hey, Darren. The injector pipe probably went on before anything else went on, including valve gear levers and toolbox and handbrake equipment and all sorts of stuff. So anyway, got it all back together, fired it up. The drain cocks were surprisingly good, actually, so I'm really impressed about that. So we ran it for the afternoon, and of course Dan ran his new engine again. He's probably run it 3 times since then. If we only knew, he's probably sitting out there running it now. And then what else happened? We filled it to the brim with water again, wet store it, and I was in the car at about 6 and I was home by about 10 o'clock. And I was back at work on Monday. So that was my weekend. Now, my GoPro's dead, I think. It's finally died. It's no good. The battery won't... The battery's got problems and it's got SD problems and it keeps trying to reformat cards and things and it doesn't turn on all the time, and sometimes you've got to take the battery out and start it again. Excuse me. So GoPro's the end of the road for GoPro. I'm not going to own another one, unfortunately. So next, probably DJI at some point if I'm going to shoot video again. Because I'm going to shoot video again, but I need a DJI or something because the GoPro was just too much. I took a little bit of short footage here and there, and I'm certainly sad I missed most of it because it was a really good weekend. But I didn't end up with anything, so I'm a bit unimpressed about that, and I apologise. Hey, Ross. Anyway, that was the weekend. Yesterday I put all this back together. I actually picked the boards up. That's pretty cool. Look, who's here? Who's here? There's a few new stickers to go up. Or one anyway to go up. And we need to do some sticker housekeeping and actually send some out, I think. So that's something we need to do. There's Machine NZ one. I've probably got one of the bigger collections of stickers. I've got a lot of stuff. And I'm going to say that nearly all of these, 80% of these makers I've actually met in person. So some of the English guys I haven't met, but I've corresponded with them, and there's a few winners for the old tool making competition. Please don't ask about that. There's some Summer Bash ones that are a bit rare. Yeah, they need sorting out. There's a Rustanox one there right in the middle. Hey, Rustanox. You need to come up with a video first, Stuart. How do you all design your logos? They just sort of happen. Mine's had a few itinerations. There's my original old sticker, which is too dark and a bit difficult. That was actually hand painted, the original red one. I've put that one over the top of it. This one is digital, really, with the traction engine. And I would like another one at some point, but it hasn't happened. There's a couple of KLM stickers, that one, and that one there. Who else is here? There's an A's Workshop and there's a John's Workshop. The Swan Valley Machine Works is worth a look. Air Cave Shop. There's 1970 Chevelle and 396, which is more a travel blog now. He's a really nice guy. Greens Machines, which is kind of an off-grid sort of a channel nowadays. Necklace Workshop, it's a fairly recent one. There's a Was It Made Here and a Tom Make Here sticker. Probably Bill, yes. Yeah, some cool things there. There's Turn Right Machine Works one, and finishmachinery.org, and the Where's How one, we see him sometimes on live stream. There's a Go Create hobby machine shop, we see Nigel here often. There's a Craig's Workshop one, and a Dream Steam one. Now I owe some of these guys stickers, and I know I do. So my I know Shark River Machine will watch later, so there's a Shark River Machine one. I need to organise and get some stickers out, so at some point I will do that in the next little while. Some very good channels that we miss, like the Old Man Shop. That was a very good channel, and I wonder what's happened to Chris sometimes. Alistair, Adventures with a Very Small Lathe. It's also a very good channel that produces videos sometimes. There's JB from Oz one, yeah. Totally Tool Right. Always Sunny in the Shop. Solid Rock Machine Shop. Good of the Land. Matty sticker and the Eddies. Anyway, bit of a collection of stickers. Woods Creek Machine Shop. Blondie Hex is a Blondie Hex sticker. And the Build Something Cool sticker from Dale Dairy. And things like Saunders Machine Shop and the old Dale Dairy sticker, which is a bit rare. Brad Jacobs, a couple from him. Harold from Amateur Red Tech Workshop. Phil's Projects. I think in the back there in the corner there's a Tom Lipton one. Anyway, bit of a sticker collection. Hey, tea and biscuits. So that they went up, and that's pretty happy with that. That's awesome. My subscriber counter piece has got broken in the move, so I'm going to have to print another one of them, but it's on my other computer, so I'm going to have to set my other computer up to print it and get all that running up again. We have sort of clean benches though. Clean benches. Raymond, while you're here, this, if you have a look, come and get it at some point. I'll put it aside for you. This is the tool that's in the... David will know exactly what this is. That's the tool that's in the Kenneth Wells traction engine book for making a canopy, putting the canopy grooves in. So I actually have one of them. So I'll lend it to you or give it to you or something. It's no good to me probably. But there's one there. So you're making one. David says, yeah, it's a canopy tool. That's right. That's what that is. Been sorting out drills and things, a lot of blunt and otherwise drills that need sharpening or sorting out or moving around or something. Onto that. It's another job. And I've got sort of a cleanish workshop here. I actually went and bought this cabinet, this tin box at Office Supplies. They're not all that expensive. They're more expensive than they used to be, but this is for measuring equipment. So that's excellent. I might get another one at some point. So that's got a bit of stuff put away. Slowly adding to the offcuts cabinet, and just as we unpack stuff, there's still a heap of stuff here on the ground that's got to go in here. It's not really a very clean bench, but it's much better than it was. It's as good as it's going to get. Also, this cabinet up here, we'll shift this out of the way, put this on here so you can actually see. Bit of a spark plug collection. I'm sure you've all seen this before, but got them out and put them out because they're all sitting around in boxes, and this cabinet was kicking around trying not to get broken, so we've put that together. We'll zoom in a bit so you can have a bit of a look. But that's one of those things that everyone needs a collection of, and sort of a little bit pointless, to be honest, but there's a few nice plugs there. And a few boring ones. So that's been put away too. I don't know if it's going to stay there or not, but it looks like a good place to have it for now. What else? I've sort of cleaned the top of this off a little bit too. I'm slowly getting stuff put away. So that's also a work in progress. It just things that got to go in boxes. Like here's a Hornby track sleeper. I'll find the box with the rest of them and put that in it. It's a faceplate, two faceplates that need to go somewhere. There's a tube of 5-minute epoxy. Could go in the box down there, except I've got to shift something off the top of it to throw it in, so I'm not going to. It's just one of those jobs. Stage for performance qualities, that's right. Anyway, back in on this in the next little while. I want to get that crankshaft finished, and that's here. Slowly coming together. I've done a little bit to it, not very much, but we'll get that sorted. That's pretty straightforward. Excuse me. Apart from that, there's a mechanism here to go in this clock, which I've been procrastinating. I've got to fix that, get it sorted and get that out in the next little while. There's 2 steam indicators there that need sorting out and getting ready and getting organised. Offer one of them up for sale. There's a Public Works Department lamp. Oh gosh, why are we craning again? I've zoomed in and zoomed out, and then we've got problems. Sorry about that. Doesn't like that. But there is a Public Works Department lamp there. I've got a few of them. They need put on apart and powder coat and then putting back together. That's something they need, and then they want 12-volt LED lights in them. So that's a project. This cupboard's full of projects. It's a little bit more organised than it was, but it just needs to clean up and tidy up, and these toolboxes need a serious go over. I've pulled them apart a bit and put stuff in the new cabinet, but they still need organising. everything just got through in when I moved. It just got thrown in on top, and I haven't managed to find anything in there. So, this, because of this new set of drawers here, this is a little bit less cluttered, but it needs organising. It's really a bit terrible. So it's a matter of stripping it all off and putting it all back, I think. I'm really not looking forward to that. There you go. Now, the trouble is, I guess I should come clean here. The trouble is with going at 8 o'clock on Friday morning to meet a truck to pick up a steam engine from a shed full of steam engines and other antiques, and the truck not arriving for 12, is that you make promises that you probably shouldn't make. So in the proceedings, in the 4 hours that we waited around, you sort of got to make conversation about something, and yeah, anyway. So we get to blame Fridgie because it's mostly his fault. Like, it's 99.8% his fault. He's got broad shoulders, and it's kind of, yeah, 99.8, something like that, percent his fault. But the gentleman, he bought his Roby engine off, which is very nice. And if you do see, check out my Instagram or check out my Facebook or check out Shannondale Steam Shed on Facebook. You should all be following Shannondale Steam Shed's page on Facebook anyway. You should be doing that. And I know some of you don't do Facebook, so there are videos on Discord, my Discord server, and there are videos on my Instagram too. The gentleman that Dan bought his Roby off has a very early little stationary engine. I believe it's a stationary engine. It may be a converted flywheel style steam pump, and there is some cause after a little bit of research. Yeah, I can't upload to the ones that I've got, so sorry, Dan. After a bit of research, it appears to be probably a Bayer Peacock auxiliary water pump off a locomotive, maybe. Anyway, it's a little it is 1850s, I would imagine. 1850s Georgian style, almost Georgian style. It's probably pre-Victorian style flywheel, Scotch yoke flywheel engine, which bears remarkable similarity to a Bayer Peacock water pump, a Weir style water pump that was on some very early Bayer Peacock locomotives. It's only fairly small. and it's missing the pump as far as I can see. I haven't picked it up yet, but it's probably a stationary engine, or it's predominantly a stationary engine, or it may have been converted from something, but I don't know which engine it was off, but it's off a very, very early Bay of Peacock, and it's here in Queensland, so that should be reasonably easy to narrow down if you had some more information, a bit more research. Anyway, at this point it's an engine, and it's a stationary engine. It's about 1 horsepower, 1.5 horsepower, probably 2 horsepower at the maximum. I don't think it's that big even. It might be 1.5 horsepower. And it's Scotch oak, which is kind of cool. And it's quite compact. But someone on one of the Facebook groups shared a picture or a video of a Bay of Peacock locomotive in Sweden called Prince something, which has a very, very similar engine on it as a pump. So maybe that's what it is. Prince Volvo, yeah, that's it. No, it's not Prince Aber either. Anyway, it is a pretty old engine. It's got some really unique, weird stuff that I've never seen before or since on any mechanical device. If we put this here, the studs are, I'm going to draw a picture here. Probably with this broken pencil. Sorry. So the studs are sort of this shape. Now this isn't particularly easy to read, but they're round with a sharp corner on them, and the stud holes are all the same shape. I've never seen anything like this. It's got basically a teardrop shape. If you point it, turn it at 45 degrees, they're teardrop shaped. But in the covers and things, there's one pointing that way and one point, they all point into the centre. 4 studs, they all point into the centre. And I've got no idea why that is, but it's one of those weird things. There must be a patent on it or something. You're going to have a bit of a look at that. I've never seen anything like that. It's also Scotch oak, which is kind of incredibly rare on anything there. And you see pictures of them, you see models of them, you see them in model catalogues that are available. But the reason that they bank models of them is there isn't any of them around. And the Scotch oak engine is pretty unusual, even for a pump, really. It's a long way off being going. That's the other thing. Probably I should do a video series on it. We'll see. I guess they're anti-rotation locks, yeah. But it seems a really difficult way to actually make studs. It's a particularly difficult way to make anything. And just a heads up, if you're going to use that word Dan or anyone else, it's cool. But if you write it like Dan did, I don't have to worry about having to approve the comment back into chat and all that sort of stuff. So good score. Loctite was probably expensive, but yeah, I really don't think that modern studs don't work loose, do they? Anyway, so there's some interesting features, and I see John Mills is doing one up at the moment, which is a really nice little engine with a slant valve box cover. Is quite a pretty little engine. So maybe there'll be a video series on that if I get a new camera. But it needs some major engineering, and it needs putting back together, and it's going to need some fittings like oilers and some sort of hydrostatic lubricator and a few things like that. Anyway, we'll get it and we'll see what it looks like. And it might just end up in a corner at Dan's in the shed until I get sick of it and someone else buys it, which is usually what happens. So anyway, yeah, that's what it's a Scotch yoke. A Scotch yoke engine is an engine without a conrod. Basically, there's a slide that goes up and down. I don't know if it's something we can draw even. Maybe it is. We could draw it a lot better if we had a decent pencil. This one isn't it. What have I got here? This one might be helpful. It might be helpful, but not on paper. Basically, it's got two columns. No, that's a waste of time. Give me a second. We'll find something. We'll draw our Scotch yoke engine and how it works. I think there was a Sharpie here. I thought there was a Sharpie here. That was probably a day or so ago. 2 days maybe. Might be in this drawer. What it isn't is in that drawer. It's not there. I may have took it back and put it in the Sharpie department, but I'm pretty confident that never happened. Just something tells me that wouldn't have been something that I'd have done. It's not on the lathe. Here's a red pencil. A very blunt red pencil. And a yellow pencil that's a bit sharper. Not much good on anything except the black board. Don't know. But anyway, a Scotch yoke engine has basically two uprights, like basically here and here like this, and there's a, let's do it this way, there's a rod in the middle which is your piston rod, and that has, everyone knows this already, but for the people who don't, there's a crosshead goes across here which slides up and down on these two. Don't know if you missed anything. Anyway, this goes up and down on these two rods. Now there's a hole in here, and the crank pin is in the hole, and the hole's slotted. Or there's a piece that slides backwards and forwards with a hole in it. So what happens is as the crank pin goes round, this goes up and down. So there's no actual conrod in it. So it's very, very compact. And there's a crank and a flywheel like a crank sticking out. We get another drill. Get some. The crank sticks out here. And it's got a crank on, it's got a disc on the end of it, and it's got a pin in it, and as this goes up it follows it up and down, so there's no conrod in it, it's just this piece going up and down following the pin backwards and forwards. So that's how a Scotch yoke engine works, and a lot of Scotch yoke engines, this rod continues all the way through and up on the bottom. So down this end there's a pump cylinder, and this just goes up and down with the steam pressure, moves the piston up and down, and the flywheel is just for inertia to keep it going. So A lot of parts to wear out. Less parts to work out, I guess, on a Scotch yoke engine. I don't know, maybe. But anyway, it doesn't seem to have a lot of wear. Anyway, I don't think there's a lot of wear in any of this from what I've seen. I didn't think I've had a bit of a look at it a while back, because this wasn't just something that has happened like this last weekend, just in case you were thinking it was. A month or so, excuse me, a month or so back I had a bit of a look at this and sort of really didn't seem to have a lot of wear in here. The cylinder's a bit of a mess, but we put a liner in it or something, maybe. Anyway, this particular engine though seems to have a big solid base where it sits up on that, like where these vertical columns, that is a vertical, it's got a big solid base here with the Conrod assembled bearings, main bearings and things all bolted on it. So that's what makes me think it probably isn't a pump, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Anyway, probably next weekend, or next week, we might have some bits here on the bench to have a look at or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Not promising anything. Anyway, so that's it. Shannondale Steamfest is... I was going to put up the Shannondale Steamfest sign. I wonder where that went. No, it's here somewhere. Here it is. Got it. Got it. I should put that up on the wall. Sorry. Glenray Timber Festival, not Shannondale Steamfest. Should be, but yeah. Glenray Timber Festival. Totally, that's what it's working out. That's what it's working out to be. Maybe next year. Anyway, Glenray Timberfest 2023, July the 29th. We're all geared up, ready for that. That's why the roller had to go back together. It's looking pretty good. Really a bit impressed with the amount of work we got done this last little while. Bit excited. And there'll be quite a few engines there. A lot of steam guys. Keep an eye on us for TV and stuff like that, because maybe we're going to get a feature there. It should be a really awesome weekend. So I need a camera before this weekend. That's how we are. That's how we're going with that. Anyway. That's it. What other exciting things? No, don't know really. I'm not sure I'd have any other exciting things. Bit far away, Rustnox, sorry. But it's going to be a pretty good event, I think. A lot of steam engines. Quite a lot of steam engines for an event that size, actually, quite a lot. And a lot of stationary engines, bikes, motorbikes, and finished cars and trucks, that sort of stuff. Wood chopping and blacksmithing and all that sort of stuff. Forging, knife making. Should be a really awesome sort of a weekend if we can get away from the engines a bit, which is not always the way it works. So, that's sort of what's happening. in my life. But first and foremost, priority, of course, is to get this particular engine here up and restored and nice as we go. That's the valuable bit of that engine sitting here on the bench. That's the steamroller. I don't know if there's much else to add. Really don't. There probably isn't. Someone asked about this. Just looking at this here. He's putting away. You want a decent indicator holder. Mine looks a bit rustic and not very professional, but it's just the finish on it. I'm really impressed with it. We've got the straight nails on there, and everything's nice and matching and fitting. And this is the Stefan Gottswinter, basically indicator holder, which is pretty much excellent. It's well designed. It's nice and precise, and it's a really nice project. I think on his website there are drawings for this, so if someone wants one, and I know we were talking about it a bit on Discord, but this is a really nice little project that's pretty straightforward, and you'll learn a lot doing it. It's one of my favourite tools, to be honest. And I know there was a lot of them made at one stage. Got a little dovetail in this end for an indicator. You see that? Probably you can. It's a pretty nice fit on the indicator, and it's got a nut to do it up tight there. These are all fit together on tapers, I think. So that works. I've got to remember. All my threads and everything I was really impressed with. Nuts, copper washer, and yeah, it sits on a taper there, and a matching taper in there. And they lock up beautifully. Just a little brass or copper brass washer there, I think, or I think they're brass, bronze or something. And then nice little anyway, that's besides the point. It's from an engineering point of view, though, that's a really nice little centering indicator for the mill. Very nice bit of gear. Mine's a bit more rustic and steampunk looking than some of them, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's a tool you use all the time. It's a pretty awesome thing. And it's certainly a lot easier. I've got a shop of bought one somewhere, and it's a bit of a quick cow, I think, to be honest. It's not real good and doesn't stay tight, and you bump it and it comes loose, and it's very difficult to get. It's not responsive and a few things like that, but this is it. If you're looking for a project for your workshop, good thing. Anyway, take care, Paul. Anyway, just put that out there. There's another indicator pin holder there that's sort of a bit useless. Anyway, everyone needs a project, Dan. I don't particularly need any projects, but anyway, they happen. It's very, like my mate Dean Campbell said that on the other week. And I was talking to him. No one needs a project, but it's very easy to write another one on the bottom of the board. That happens pretty easy. You just write it up. I mean, and it's a project, but whether anything ever happens with it, I don't know. Another thing that's sort of invaluable, and I know where there's a Marshall portable project going cheap too, and really good value for money if anyone wants a steam engine. It's here in Queensland. It's 4 horsepower Marshall. Proper conventional boiler, English portable. It's pretty sweet. I think it's a single. It's all there, but it needs putting together. And the price is very attractive. The trouble is that you've got to have somewhere to put it. That's where I failed down, and it's besides probably 4 other portables in the same shed that are equally as attractive as projects. So I don't know. So, yeah. If anyone wants details on that, I think it's for sale. I know it's for sale. And it's a good price. You'll need a truck, and you'll need some riveting gear, and you'll need a lot of bolts, and you'll probably need some sort of steam experience to know where all the bits go. And if there's any bits missing, they'll be expensive, so it's up to you. Anyway, I can point you in the right direction on that one. So, what else was I going to show you? There are other stuff I thought I was going to show you tonight. A bit of a list of things, but I haven't really. I don't think I've been particularly good with that. I have got this lamp here. Subscribe button there. So I've got one of these here, which is not really the be all and end all, but it's kind of useful on the bench. And I had that put away, so I'll put that on the bench here. Mightn't be a bad thing. I don't know what else really. I've got to get this lamp here set up too properly. For some reason that lamp doesn't, well I know why it doesn't work, but it needs a transformer on it and it needs wiring up. It's not a big deal. I've probably got a transformer. I've probably just got to hook it up and rewire it. It hasn't happened yet. What it needs is the wires at the bottom of it need a plug put on them, and they need a transformer with another plug, and the transformer needs to go in there, and then we need a power point for it, etc. And then that's quite a good little 12-volt lamp, but it hasn't happened yet. So, anyway, Ross, welcome back. Don't get me started on the lathe. It's always best not to get me started on the lathe. I love the lathe too, but I'd really like to. I seem to have lost my indicator holder. I think it may have fallen off, which is not good for anything, or the new indicator that's on it, but I'm not sure where it went. Because it was on this lathe frame here, and I thought I heard it fall when I was messing around there and bumped it with my elbow, but I'm not sure where it went, so that's another situation. No indication of where it went at all. I'm guessing it's here somewhere, and it won't be far away, and it would have fallen on this thick industrial carpet, so it probably didn't do any harm, but I've got to find it. Does the VFD have a 12-volt output? That's a really smart idea. I don't know if it would handle the current. Raymond, that's an interesting thought. I'm going to have a look into that. Could do that. That would make life a little bit easier, maybe. I have to think about that. But it could be 24-volt too. I'm not sure. I'm going to have a think about that at some point. This lathe's set up for between centres work at the moment. Got the dog plate in the centre in here, which is held in place with the drawbar. I've just wired this in place here with this pretty rudimentary to stop it turning. For a few LEDs you don't need much. I saw the pictures of Winky's Workshop's Hardage. This is a nice bit of gear. This has just got a cop globe in it, so it probably doesn't take much really to run it. 240 to 12 volt supplies are cheap from JK. I've probably got 5 of them here, to be honest. I've got to get a box with a heap of them in there. I've just got to find one and fish it out, and it's connected up. If you can make it so that you don't need one less power point you need, though, that's a really nice thing. Anyway, that's where we are. We've got Stefan got in the tool holder, which is one of my prized possessions here in the workshop again. That's a genuine Stefan one. I'm a bit lucky to have a left and a right hand one of them. I think they're left and right handed. Good question. With no real certain answer, I'd have to find another one and have a look. I think they're both here somewhere. Yep, absolutely no idea. Bit of wind straw. Very useful, very robust little tool holder for doing jobs like this. So that's we won't even start on the list of projects for the lathe. Something that I really want to do is put a cabinet in this space at some point, because it's never had one, and it was always on the plan is to put some sort of a cabinet, probably with a fold-out drawer, fold-out drawer for chucks and things, or 2 fold-out drawers for chucks. So you can drop stuff in and then just close it up, and put all my faceplates and chucks and things down there, and that'll free up some of this space up here. Vertical space is kind of at a horizontal space is sort of at a paramount. So if we could get somewhere to put all these chucks down there, the bigger stuff would be set. At some point that'll happen. It's probably not a big deal to buy a sheet of plywood and cut it up and screw it together. Design something up. And probably there's enough plywood down the back to actually do it. But anyway, at some point. Bizarrely, that other tool holder seems to have disappeared. It must be here somewhere. I've used it. Many times, really. I'm sure it's here. But no idea where. Here it is. Here it is. Got two tool holders, they're both right-handed. So there you go. But it's a Stefan tool holder. It's quite a nice design and very easy thing, something that anyone can make, I think. I might screw this one apart and show you how it works. If anyone's, you know, I'm trying to feel less bad about things by showing you other projects that you could be have as part of your life. And then I don't feel like I'm overcommitted as I should be. Does that make sense? Probably not. I'll do this one so actually it's easy to hold. So it's just got basically a series of grooves. It's probably tool steel and it's all probably hardened and tempered within an inch of its life and then ground. But it's got a groove here for the tool, which is this one. And then it's got a spacer groove there with a thread in it. And then it's got a clamp groove or a clamp ridge up there and a clamp ridge down. And a clamp ridge up there, and then this piece here is just basically like that. So it's a pretty simple job to make them. And I think you can make them any size you wanted to. That's not the wrong way around. This actually fits like that. But I think Stefan has probably a video on those too. You should go and check that out while you're doing a historic Stefan video deep dive. There's 1,000 videos of his that you probably should watch. Anyway, good little tool holder, really nice bit of gear. Big fan of those. Anyway, that's me dribbling for an hour. Not particularly good at anything else. Don't judge me from anything I've said. That's where we're at with that. Anything I've said in live stream in the last month, don't judge me, because it's probably, yeah, I'm only very weak and human, so don't judge me for things that I say. And you're all as bad as me, so you can't really, people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. That's where we're at with that. Ross has already judged me. Yeah, anyway. With that, I'm feeling much more alive than I was last week. Last week really wasn't a good day. And we had to pull all this stuff to bits for the termite man. But I'm glad I got it all back together and I'm feeling a bit more happy about it now. You've all got way too much junk. That's where I'm at with that. All of you have way too much junk. and it will only end badly on any level. Just so you know. Still see the floor in your workshop? Yeah, I can't. I actually, there's patches of floor. This is another thing that's pretty useful and I kind of tend to use a lot. That's a micrometer stand. You buy a cheap micrometer stand. Pretty useful thing for measuring small bits. Stuart, yeah, we'll be in touch about that. We will talk at some point. I haven't forgotten, and I really appreciate you hanging on to it. If it was in the way, just let me know, but I reckon in the next little while it will happen. I've just got to get everything away so I've got room for stuff. I'll work out where I've got to put it. That's the thing. It really needs its own bench space here, and I haven't really got that. Probably this cabinet here will get superseded. This here will get superseded, and I'd have a drawer cabinet here rather than this shelf rack that's kind of ugly, and most of the stuff off here could either get thrown out or sorted out better. I'm not sure what to do about that. Anyway, unrealised potential, eh? The shed shop. While we're here, I've got a shed shop sticker. It's never gone up on the board. I owe this guy a sticker probably. I'm going to put you guys down a bit for a minute. Let's have a look here. Don't really have an idea where or how. If we put this here and this here. There we go. I peel the back off the sticker. This is one that's not on my board yet, so we're going to put this here with In Good Company. There we go. Now, I need to ask for emails to send stickers out. So if I get an email from you in the next week to Miss Emma Jade, MISSEMMAJADE, for a sticker with your name and address, and I will send some. I'll get that underway. So promise you on that. So send me a missemajade@gmail.com. Send us an email and I'll get them underway. But I've been pretty slack about this in the last 12 months. Anyway, there's the shed shop. James P. Awesome. New sticker on the board. Anyway, I'll have a shuffle around and see what other stickers I can find that you can pass on if you've already got, or you can swap out or whatever. I know I've got a couple of these left. That one there. There's a few stickers. Anyway, we'll see what I can do. Anyway, I think I'm going to call it. I really appreciate anyone who tunes in. It's really awesome to catch up with you all on Wednesday nights and bounce my stupid ideas off and not to be too judged, I know you're all judgy-wudgy, but you hold it back for an hour here is really good, and then I feel like I'm justified doing things. But that's how it is. Anyway, thanks guys, and be kind to each other. More soon, and promise I'm going to upgrade my camera soon so that it actually takes footage again. Every time I get it out I forget that it's that bad. and it's a bit of a nuisance. So take care, and I'll be around. I'm out.